Ladies and gentlemen, there's a truth about success that many overlook. They see the applause, the recognition, the accolades. But they don't see the nights spent wrestling with doubt, the tears shed in silence, or the pain that became a constant companion. Pain is not an enemy, it's a teacher. It shapes us, molds us, and reveals the strength we never knew we possessed. Without pain, growth remains a distant dream. Without struggle, true triumph remains a fantasy. Success doesn't emerge from comfort. It emerges from the fire of adversity. It's built on the scars left by rejection, failure, and heartbreak. It's born from moments when you feel the weight of the world pressing down on your shoulders, yet you still choose to stand tall. Pain is inevitable. It will visit you in different forms: loss, rejection, failure, betrayal. But what truly defines you is not the pain itself, but how you respond to it. Do you allow it to break you? Or do you choose to rise from it, stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever? The most powerful people in this world are not those who have never tasted failure. They are those who have embraced their pain and turned it into their greatest strength. Remember, pain is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your transformation. It refines your character, reshapes your vision, and prepares you for the success that lies ahead. When you feel pain, do not run away from it. Do not numb it. Face it. Embrace it. Learn from it. Because it is through pain that you will find your true purpose. And one day, when you look back, you will realize that the very pain you once cursed was the bridge that led you to your greatest achievements. So do not fear pain. Honor it. For it is the fire that forges the strongest steel. Pain is a language spoken by life itself. It comes uninvited, unwelcomed, but always with a purpose. It arrives when we least expect it, tearing through our comfort zones, disrupting the plans we so carefully crafted. It's tempting to view pain as an enemy, as something to be avoided at all costs. But what if pain is not an enemy? What if pain is a mentor, the most profound teacher we will ever encounter? From the moment we enter this world, pain becomes a part of our journey. As children, we stumble and fall countless times before we learn to walk. But it's through those falls, through the bruises and tears, that we gain the strength to rise. Pain, from the very beginning, serves as a guide, urging us to push forward, to keep trying until we find our footing. It is through pain that we discover the joy of triumph, of taking our first steps into the unknown. Pain strips away our illusions, forcing us to confront our limitations and weaknesses. It demands honesty, demanding that we face the harsh realities of our existence. It reveals the areas where we fall short, the places where we must grow. But instead of seeing pain as a curse, we must learn to recognize it as a catalyst for transformation. It is not there to break us. It is there to break us open. The greatest lessons in life are often learned in the midst of suffering, when everything falls apart, when our dreams shatter before our eyes, when the people we trusted turn their backs on us. That's when pain delivers its most powerful teachings. It teaches us resilience. For without pain, we would never discover the depth of our own strength. It teaches us empathy, for only those who have suffered can truly understand the pain of others. It teaches us humility, for pain reminds us that we are not invincible, that we are human, and that vulnerability is not a weakness, but a testament to our courage. Pain is a test of character. It strips away the superficial and reveals who we truly are beneath the surface. It exposes our fears, insecurities, and doubts, but it also uncovers the raw, unfiltered power that resides within us. It shows us that we are capable of enduring more than we ever imagined. Pain does not diminish us. It refines us. It sharpens our focus, deepens our understanding, and strengthens our resolve. The world is filled with stories of individuals who turned their pain into greatness, people who faced unimaginable hardship and emerged stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. They embraced pain as their teacher, allowing it to guide them toward their purpose. Their stories are not tales of effortless success. They are testimonies of resilience born from pain. Think about the artists who pour their heartbreak into their creations, transforming their suffering into masterpieces that touch the souls of millions. Think about the athletes who push through excruciating physical pain, refusing to surrender because their desire to achieve greatness outweighs their discomfort. Think about the entrepreneurs who face rejection after rejection, only to rise again with even greater determination. Pain, for them, is not a barrier, it is a bridge. When pain enters our lives, it is natural to resist it. We wish for comfort, for ease, for happiness without struggle. But true growth rarely occurs within the confines of comfort. Growth demands discomfort. It demands that we step outside our safe spaces and confront the challenges that test our limits. Pain is the price of progress. It is the fire that refines the steel of our character. Yet so often we run from pain. We numb it, avoid it, distract ourselves from it. We seek solace in temporary pleasures, hoping to drown out the voice of pain calling us to grow. But pain is persistent. It will continue to knock on the door of our consciousness until we are willing to face it head on. Avoiding pain only prolongs our suffering. Embracing pain, on the other hand, accelerates our growth. Pain teaches us that nothing worth having comes easily. It teaches us patience, perseverance, and grit. It shows us that setbacks are not the end of the road, but merely detours, guiding us toward a better path. It teaches us that failure is not a destination, but a stepping stone. Pain tests our commitment, challenging us to prove how deeply we desire our dreams. When we embrace pain as a teacher, we stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What can I learn from this?" We begin to see our struggles not as punishments, but as opportunities for growth. We understand that pain is not meant to break us, but to build us. It is through pain that we find our purpose, our resilience, and our strength. Pain also teaches us compassion. When we have suffered, we can recognize suffering in others. We can offer kindness, understanding, and support because we know what it feels like to walk through darkness. Pain connects us, creating empathy where there was once only indifference. It deepens our humanity and reminds us that we are all fighting battles unseen. There will be times when pain feels overwhelming, when the weight of our struggles threatens to crush us. But it is during those moments of despair that we must remember pain's true purpose. It is not there to destroy us, but to transform us. It is a guide urging us to rise above our circumstances and become something greater than we ever imagined. Embracing pain as a teacher requires courage. It requires the willingness to confront our deepest fears and insecurities. It requires us to let go of the need for constant comfort and embrace the discomfort of growth. But when we choose to learn from pain instead of fleeing from it, we unlock a power within ourselves that cannot be shaken by adversity. Growth and comfort cannot coexist. If we wish to grow, we must be willing to endure pain. We must be willing to face challenges, make sacrifices, and push through moments of doubt and despair. Pain is not the end of our journey. It is the beginning of our evolution. Pain is not a curse, it is a powerful mentor. It shapes you, strengthens you, and prepares you for the battles ahead. It is the fire that forges the strongest steel, and without pain, growth remains a distant dream. Struggles are an inevitable part of life. They come like unrelenting waves, crashing against the shores of our dreams, testing our strength, our willpower, our very sense of self. But what we often fail to realize is that these struggles are not there to drown us. They are there to teach us how to swim. They are the catalysts of growth, the painful yet essential steps on the staircase to greatness. Every setback we endure leaves a mark. Every wound, whether physical or emotional, tells the story of resilience. It is easy to view struggles as barriers to success, to curse the circumstances that leave us broken and weary. But what if we saw those struggles as the very foundation upon which our success is built? What if, instead of running from them, we embraced them and allowed them to mold us into something stronger? Success is not about avoiding pain. It is about confronting pain, learning from it, and transforming it into power. When we look back at the most influential figures throughout history, we find a common thread. Whether it be the visionary who faced relentless doubt and ridicule, the athlete who overcame physical limitations, or the artist who channeled heartbreak into masterpieces, greatness has always been forged in the fires of adversity. The scars left by struggle are not symbols of weakness. They are proof of endurance. They are evidence that, despite the hardship, you continued to fight, to push forward, to strive for something greater. Those scars are a testament to your resilience, to your ability to withstand the storms of life and emerge with a deeper understanding of who you are and what you are capable of achieving. It is in the moments of struggle that we are stripped of our pretenses. We are forced to confront our fears, our insecurities, our limitations. It is a painful process, but it is also a transformative one. When everything is stripped away, we are left with nothing but our raw, unfiltered selves. And it is from that place of vulnerability that true strength emerges. Turning struggles into strengths begins with a shift in perspective. Instead of seeing struggles as setbacks, we must learn to see them as opportunities for growth. Every challenge presents us with a choice. We can allow it to break us, or we can choose to rise above it. We can choose to extract the lessons hidden within the pain and use them to propel us forward. The most successful people in the world are not those who have never faced hardship. They are those who have faced it head-on and transformed it into something extraordinary. They have turned their weaknesses into strengths, their failures into stepping stones, their doubts into unwavering determination. They have learned to see struggle not as an obstacle but as a teacher. Consider the athlete who suffers a career-threatening injury. In that moment, it would be easy to give up, to surrender to the pain and allow it to define their fate. But for those who choose to fight, who refuse to let their struggles dictate their destiny, something incredible happens. They adapt, they innovate, they discover strengths they never knew they had. The injury that once seemed like the end becomes the very thing that propels them to new heights. The same is true for those who face emotional or psychological struggles, heartbreak, failure, rejection. These experiences can feel devastating. They can leave us feeling lost, shattered, and hopeless. But if we choose to confront that pain instead of burying it, we find within ourselves a reservoir of strength that is deeper than we ever imagined. We learn resilience, we learn compassion, we learn to rise, not despite our struggles, but because of them. Turning struggles into strengths requires us to embrace the pain, to acknowledge the wounds, and to recognize their potential to heal into something powerful. It requires us to accept that struggle is a part of life and that it serves a purpose far greater than we often realize. It is through struggle that we grow, that we evolve, that we become the people we were meant to be. When we are faced with adversity, it is natural to feel overwhelmed. It is natural to doubt ourselves, to question whether we have what it takes to overcome the challenges before us. But it is during those moments of doubt that our greatest strengths are forged. It is during those moments of struggle that we learn to dig deep, to reach beyond our perceived limitations and discover the extraordinary potential within. Success is not a straight path. It is a journey marked by setbacks, by failures, by moments of despair. But each struggle, each obstacle, each painful experience is a stepping stone along that path. It is not about avoiding struggle. It is about using it as fuel to propel you forward. It is about recognizing that every scar, every wound, every ounce of pain has something to teach you. Too often we allow our struggles to define us in negative ways. We label ourselves as failures, as unworthy, as incapable. But the truth is, our struggles are not meant to diminish us. They are meant to strengthen us, to prepare us for the challenges that lie ahead. They are meant to build the resilience, the wisdom, and the determination necessary to achieve true success. Think of your struggles as the raw material from which your greatness is built. Every moment of hardship, every tear shed, every doubt faced is a brick laid upon the foundation of your success. It is through struggle that we gain clarity, that we refine our vision, that we cultivate the grit necessary to keep moving forward. When we learn to turn our struggles into strengths, we become unstoppable. We become resilient, adaptable, and unbreakable. We learn to see obstacles not as roadblocks, but as opportunities for growth. We learn to face our fears with courage and to use our pain as a tool for transformation. Your struggles are not your weaknesses. They are your strengths in the making. They are the trials that prepare you for the triumphs to come. So embrace them, learn from them, and turn them into the pillars of your greatness. Resilience is the quiet strength that carries us through life's most unforgiving storms. It is the force that propels us forward when everything else seems to be pulling us down. Resilience is not a trait reserved for the fortunate or the privileged. It is a skill, a mindset, a relentless commitment to rise again, no matter how many times we fall. It is the power within us that refuses to be conquered by failure, hardship, or pain. True success is not measured by how many times we achieve victory, but by how many times we find the courage to rise after we fall. It is the unwavering determination to keep moving forward, even when the road is steep and the destination feels impossible to reach. Resilience is the bridge that connects dreams to reality, the force that transforms aspirations into accomplishments. Life, by its very nature, is unpredictable. It throws challenges our way, often when we least expect them. Setbacks and disappointments are inevitable, but they do not define us. What truly defines us is how we respond to those setbacks. Will we allow them to break us, or will we use them as stepping stones to build something greater? Resilience is the choice to persevere, to keep fighting even when the odds are stacked against us. There is a common misconception that resilience is about enduring pain without flinching, about suppressing emotions and pretending that everything is fine. But true resilience is not about avoiding pain, it is about embracing it. It is about acknowledging the hurt, the fear, the doubt, and then choosing to rise anyway. It is about using pain as fuel, as motivation to grow stronger, wiser, and more determined. Every time we fall and choose to rise again, we gain something invaluable. We gain strength, not only of the body, but of the mind and spirit. We gain clarity, as each setback forces us to re-examine our goals, our strategies, our desires. We gain wisdom, as the lessons learned from pain are often the most enduring and transformative. Resilience is not built in moments of comfort. It is forged in the fires of adversity. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of it. It is through failure that we learn, adapt, and improve. Every great achievement is preceded by countless moments of struggle, of falling short, of being told that it cannot be done. But resilience transforms those moments of defeat into stepping stones toward victory. It turns rejection into motivation, criticism into insight, and setbacks into opportunities for growth. Resilience is the reason some people achieve greatness despite overwhelming odds. It is the reason why the underdog rises to the top, why the dreamer turns visions into reality. It is the force that keeps us going when the path ahead is shrouded in darkness. It is the refusal to give up, no matter how many times we are knocked down. The journey to success is rarely smooth. It is filled with twists and turns, obstacles and detours, but resilience allows us to navigate those challenges with courage and determination. It empowers us to find solutions where others see only problems. It gives us the strength to persevere, even when the finish line feels impossibly distant. Resilience is not something we are born with. It is something we cultivate through experience. It grows with each trial we endure, each hardship we overcome. It is the result of choosing to rise again and again, despite the pain, despite the doubt, despite the fear. It is the choice to keep moving forward, even when the journey feels impossibly difficult. When we embrace resilience, we recognize that setbacks are not failures, but opportunities for growth. We understand that pain is not a punishment, but a teacher. We learn to see obstacles not as barriers, but as stepping stones. We learn to rise, not only despite adversity, but because of it. Resilience is also about adaptation. It is about recognizing when a strategy is not working and having the courage to change course. It is about learning from our mistakes and using that knowledge to make better decisions moving forward. It is about being flexible enough to adjust our approach while remaining steadfast in our pursuit of our goals. Every fall, every setback, every moment of doubt is an opportunity to build resilience. It is a chance to prove to ourselves that we are stronger than our circumstances, that we are capable of rising above whatever challenges come our way. Resilience is the proof that we are not defined by our failures, but by our ability to overcome them. The most powerful successes are often born from the most painful struggles. It is the resilience to rise from those struggles that transforms ordinary individuals into extraordinary achievers. It is the refusal to be defeated by hardship that propels us toward greatness. Resilience is a mindset, a way of seeing the world that turns challenges into opportunities. It is the belief that no matter how many times we fall, we can always rise again. It is the understanding that pain is not a dead end, but a doorway to growth. True resilience is about more than just enduring hardship. It is about thriving in spite of it. It is about using adversity as a catalyst for transformation. It is about turning pain into power, failure into fuel, and doubt into determination. Resilience is the art of turning setbacks into comebacks. When we choose resilience, we choose to rise. We choose to keep moving forward no matter how many times we fall. We choose to turn our struggles into strengths, our pain into purpose, our failures into foundations for success. Resilience is the essence of true greatness, the force that drives us to keep climbing even when the climb feels impossible. Pain has a way of shattering our illusions and tearing down the walls of comfort we so carefully build around ourselves. It enters our lives unannounced, disrupting our plans, challenging our dreams, and forcing us to confront the harsh realities we would rather avoid. But pain, as devastating as it can be, is not merely an affliction. It is a force of transformation, a catalyst that propels us toward discovering our true purpose. There is something uniquely powerful about the way pain shapes us. It strips away the superficial, leaving us raw and vulnerable. In that vulnerability, we are granted a clarity that comfort could never provide. Pain has a way of sharpening our focus, of redirecting our attention to what truly matters. When everything feels broken, we are compelled to search for meaning, to find light within the darkness. It is through that search that we often discover our deepest purpose. Many of the most beautiful journeys in life are born from moments of profound suffering. It is in our darkest hours that we are forced to dig deeper, to question our assumptions, to redefine what truly matters. Pain dismantles our old ways of thinking, forcing us to reevaluate our beliefs, our goals, our desires. It compels us to ask difficult questions and to seek answers that are not always easy to find. Yet, in that struggle for understanding, something extraordinary begins to emerge. Pain has a way of redirecting us when we have strayed from our true path. Sometimes we become so consumed by the pursuit of comfort, success, or approval that we lose sight of what genuinely fulfills us. Pain serves as a wake-up call, jolting us out of complacency and forcing us to reassess our lives. It reveals the hollowness of superficial pursuits and urges us to search for something deeper, something more authentic. The most powerful purposes are often born from the most painful experiences. Those who have faced immense suffering often find themselves compelled to turn their pain into something meaningful. Whether it is the survivor who dedicates their life to helping others overcome similar hardships, or the artist who channels heartbreak into works of beauty that inspire and heal, pain can be a powerful motivator. It pushes us to create, to contribute, to make a difference in the world. When we are confronted with pain, we have a choice. We can allow it to consume us, to leave us bitter and defeated, or we can choose to transform it into something purposeful. Pain can either be a prison that confines us or a tool that empowers us. The difference lies in our willingness to embrace it, to learn from it, and to use it as fuel for growth. Pain also refines our vision. It forces us to strip away distractions and focus on what truly matters. When we are faced with suffering, our priorities become clearer. We begin to see the world through a different lens, one that values authenticity over superficiality, purpose over popularity. Pain teaches us to appreciate the beauty of resilience, the strength that comes from enduring hardship, the wisdom that emerges from struggle. Pain reshapes our purpose by giving us a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. It teaches us empathy, allowing us to connect with others on a level that superficial experiences could never achieve. When we have suffered, we are better equipped to recognize and understand the suffering of others. We become more compassionate, more driven to make a positive impact, more determined to turn our pain into something that can inspire and uplift those around us. There is a reason why so many of the world's greatest achievements are born from pain. It is not because pain is necessary for greatness, but because pain has the power to strip away what is inessential, leaving only the core of who we are. It is that core, our deepest desires, our truest values, our most authentic selves, that becomes the foundation upon which we build our purpose. Pain teaches us resilience, but it also teaches us direction. It forces us to confront the uncomfortable truths we would rather ignore. It compels us to face our fears, our insecurities, our failures. But through that confrontation, we gain clarity, we gain insight, we gain the courage to pursue what truly matters, even when the path is difficult and uncertain. Those who have endured great pain often speak of a newfound sense of purpose that emerged from their suffering. They describe how the experience changed them, how it led them to discover passions and talents they never knew they had. Pain has a way of breaking us open, of exposing the hidden potential within us. It is through pain that we often find the strength to pursue dreams we once thought impossible. When we look back on our lives, it is often the moments of struggle that stand out most vividly. It is the pain we endured, the hardships we overcame, the darkness we navigated that shapes us into who we are. It is through those experiences that we find our voice, our mission, our purpose. Pain is not something to be feared or avoided. It is something to be embraced, understood, and transformed. Turning pain into purpose requires a willingness to confront our wounds, to acknowledge our scars, to accept that suffering is a part of the journey. It requires courage, determination, and an unwavering belief that something beautiful can emerge from the most difficult experiences. When we choose to view pain as a catalyst for growth, we open ourselves to possibilities we never could have imagined. Pain has the power to transform us, but only if we allow it to. It has the power to refine our vision, to sharpen our focus, to deepen our understanding of what truly matters. It has the power to guide us toward a purpose that is more profound, more authentic, more fulfilling than anything we could have imagined. When we choose to embrace pain rather than resist it, we discover that our most difficult moments can become the very foundation of our greatest accomplishments. We learn that pain is not an obstacle, but a catalyst, not a curse, but a gift. It is through pain that we find our purpose, our passion, our power. And it is through pain that we discover the beauty of a life lived with meaning. Thank you.